Smoking Reuben's Brian Doran. Let's see if it'll, yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. You know, it's not as big a chamber as you'd think, because this was from 2017, and Brian would often drill these at like 7/8 rather than an inch opening. So there really isn't that much capacity in here. But it burns nice because it's a confined space and it's kind of a chimney shape thus. Yeah, I really like those Brian Doran pipes. You can find him on eBay. He's a more reasonably priced alternative to Jake Hackert. And Jake's still making pipes. I was at the Kitsap Pipe Club yesterday and that came up, and sure enough, yeah, he's still making pipes. So if you like these stubby, this is as close, I think, to that's the cat. I'm in the multi-purpose room, so the cat likes to participate. So we were talking about changes in, you know, pipe smoking and the tobacco industry and so forth. And, yeah. So in Washington State, I think it starts in May or June. You have to be 21 to purchase and supposedly smoke tobacco products of any kind, including pipes. So we had a couple of young pipe smokers, several actually, it was great, at the Kitsap Pipe Club yesterday. And so one of them is going to be impacted. So he said he was going to go down and, or maybe it starts January 1st, I don't remember. But he was going to go down and kind of stock up at cargo hold for until he turns 21. So it was kind of funny. Drinking some Puro, which is kind of a coffee substitute. It's made with ground roasted barley and something else. It's German. Comes in like a 6-ounce tub in the coffee section usually, if you have a decent store. I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine, so I really can't drink coffee after noon, or it kind of keeps me up at night. And I wonder why it's midnight and I'm really not very tired, you know. so I just have to manage that. So I'm smoking some Cornell and Deal Red Carpet. This is from Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. A little unexpected Christmas joy for me. Hopefully for him as the giver, but certainly for me. So it says, the perfect blend of red Virginias and Perique, pressed and sliced into flake form. Sale only allowed in the United States. Why is that? I don't know. Who knows? It's got, you know, kind of a nice little look to it. And the tin note, I just opened this so it's fresh, has quite a bit of Virginia. There's a little spiciness in there that maybe is the Perique. We were smoking some Perique mixtures yesterday at the Pipe Club, and even though it was from Jeff also, it was 25% Perique from Cornell and Deal. It was pleasant. So perhaps damned by faint praise, but it was enjoyable. But it was just enjoyable hanging out with other guys who enjoy pipes and talking, you know, everything pipe and tobacco and other stuff too. It was really fun. So I'm going to try and get Price. He's a local guy who has this engineering perspective on things, and he's been carving his own pipes for a while, but he picked up some information on the Peterson system, which of smoke channeling through the shank and then into the bit and finally to your mouth, and how to reduce gurgling and reduce turbulence. And so really fascinating stuff. So hopefully I'll snag him and, we'll have a little video on that. Sort of the technology of a gurgle-free pipe. What makes a pipe a good smoking pipe? He thinks that 4mm opening, which was just my way of handling that originally with all these old estate pipes, he thinks that's too wide. And so I won't even go into it. I'll let him explain it all when we do the video. It should be really interesting. So hopefully everybody had a good Christmas. That's all in your head, as I well know. And actually I did have a good Christmas. So I went east of the mountains and drove the truck. Gave it a little exercise. I haven't been using it too much with my back, not hauling stuff around or not doing mowing out at Big Valley or whatever that I use it for normally. So it was nice to give it a little exercise. Didn't need it, never put it into 4-wheel drive. Could have driven the Fiat, honestly. But it needed the exercise. So had a good 3 days over there. Didn't really take any pictures. I always like to kind of do a photo safari when I go over there. But the light was just not good. It was actually kind of freezing fog for a lot of it. But anyway, it was fun. So while I was over there, I did not take a laptop. Now, normally I will take a laptop to process photos or whatever. I thought, nope. To quote a Kenny Chesney song, I got it wrong already. Something about getting this laying low off to a flying start. So I just didn't want to be technology driven, right? So, but I had posted a video not a day maybe or so before I left, and so while I don't often, I do not even ever rewatch a video of mine. I mean, it's fulfilled its purpose because it gave me a smoke with y'all, and so success, mission accomplished. So I don't go back. What I will do though is go back and comments that people have. I think it's kind of rude to not reply to those or not recognize those. So just as a matter of, not being a butt, I will go back and try and, if there are questions, I'll answer them, or if there are comments, I appreciate people taking the time to make a comment. So this will be good once it's aged a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll help. Got a slight edge to it, Virginia sometimes do. Anyway, I had a different experience this time because I did not have my laptop. All I had was my phone. Now, I never go on YouTube and look at certainly my own videos, and I don't have it set up to do that, so I don't have my account set up. I don't know, too many passwords, password hell, I hate it. So I had my phone, and I thought, well, maybe I'll check in and see if I can't say thanks for some of the comments or whatever. So I went in and I just queried NW Pipe Smoker in YouTube. And it's a whole different interface, I don't know. Is it worse? Is it better? It doesn't give you, well, because I wasn't logged in, probably it doesn't give me the ability to see a lot of comments or whatever. or certainly to comment back, right? As I realized. So, but what it did is that search pulled up videos that I'd never seen. People at, like, Gribbly had done some videos in response to, he did a couple of them in response to ones I'd made that I never saw, from like last year and the year before. And so he must think I'm a butt for not, replying, but I never saw it. I never query myself on YouTube. I mean, that's just not why I'm there. So, so anyway, and Sergeant Savinelli did a couple of them too, and about the custom builds and whatnot. And there were a couple of other guys who did VRs, and it was actually a lot of fun to see those. And I would never have known they were there otherwise. If you do that and you don't tell me, I just won't know, because I'm just not. I don't use YouTube the way a lot of people do, as just a social media outlet, like Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I just don't do it. I just don't use it that way. And I don't have Facebook, and I don't have Twitter. So when Facebook got going, wisely, I think, my place of work banned it and prevented us from going to it, blocked it. So I never got started on it. I did set up an account for the cat, thinking, well, I'll keep up with family or something. But almost immediately, I got all these emails multiple times a day saying, 57 people want to be your friend. Well, no, they don't. I mean, what? Sorry, folks, that's bullshit. So I said, ugh, this isn't my thing. If it's your thing, great, but it's not my thing. And then all the crap that's associated with Facebook, and I recognize that there are a lot of people. I mean, all you have to do is drive down the road and look at the people in the other lane passing you, and half of them are staring at their little screens as they drive. It's so scary. They're probably great drivers if they would just drive, but they distract themselves to the point of beyond the edge, and then, I don't know. Anyway, our nearby little city of Paulsbo, 80% of traffic accidents in that town are due to social media. Wow. Rear enders and just like not paying enough attention to driving. Anyway, so I had this experience of looking at sort of my stuff through that perspective, which is over here. I just never had done that. I'm always over here, just putting them up because I've had a smoke and and then I'll go in and answer a few questions or say thanks, and then I'm done. So I will say, I do occasionally binge watch on YouTube, but either at a desktop or a laptop. This little category of videos, I'm interested in everything aviation, pretty much, even though I don't have a pilot's license or fly. Always have been, ever since I was a kid. And so there are these things called flight reports, or trip reports. And so it's these folks who, there's an Austrian guy, David, there's an English guy, Noel, and his family. Sometimes they're really fun. And then Paul Lucas, Winging It with Paul, or something like that. Who do these great videos. I love to fly. A lot of people hate it. I personally love it. And so they just do a trip report, not of the place they're coming from, although they often start at their hotel and then wend their way to the airport so you get a sense of the city. But all the way through the airport experience, you get to see these airports and these remarkable locations. And then they'll fly coach. There was a great one, flying from Mogadishu, Somalia, on an old 737. And the Austrian guy, it wasn't David, it was Felix, made a comment that, wow, they give you a hot meal, and it was really good, the local curry. And he said, much better service than you would find on a domestic U.S. airline in a coach. It was great. So, anyway, I love those, and I will binge watch those. There are also some cockpit footage. There's a great one. The guy flies for Air France, and so he flies into these interesting locations. There's one landing a 787, Air France 787 in Cairo at night from the cockpit. It's the cockpit view. And those are a lot of fun for me. Some people would just be bored out of their mind, but for me, they're just like fascinating. So I do abuse YouTube for that. But I had never done it like from my phone and looking at my own stuff. And it was like, wow, and so these videos from Sergeant 7, Ellie, Gridley came up, and so I was watching those, and I looked at my watch, and it was like 1 a.m. And it was just like, oh my God, this is what social media addiction is like. You're just so wrapped up in that and enjoying it so much that you just lose track of time. And, it's the same as binging anything, probably alcohol or who knows what. So, anyway, I got a taste of that. And I don't really want to do it that way. I don't want to experience YouTube that way. But it was so fascinating to me. Because it was in the same way that when I had my back surgery done, they give you automatically these opioid painkillers. And then you take yourself off them before they want you to, really. And you realize, wow, those things do a lot. I mean, it's subtle, but I get it, why people get addicted to this stuff. I get it now, And I've really modified my judgmental attitude about people who get addicted to painkillers, I mean, I just thought before that it was just, they're just weak, all those pejorative terms. It's more than that. It's more complicated than that. And I got a sense of social media addiction when I was over on the east side looking at my phone. So, yeah, so I understand it better. Wow. Yes, I hear you. Meow. Kitty, kitty. Oh. I know you want in. I know. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Oh. How you doing? You want to be in a video here? Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I know. Probably doesn't like the smoke. Yeah. My buddy. Cats are so easy. I mean, when I left, I just left her with a bunch of food and 2 big litter boxes. And she's fine. She's ready for a little outdoor adventure when I got back, but she was fine. So my back's getting better. I'm not going to show you the scar. Thank me for that. Not that it's horrible, but it's just like uncalled for. Only my closest friends get to see my scar. So it's still there. It's still healing. I'm trying to take it easy. And that was one reason I went east of the mountains, was to get out of my routine so I could just take it easy. And we did, and it was good. It was good. I did a little bit of walking, trying to do a little more. I'm going to do a little more with some friends of mine this afternoon. It's a delightful day out there. So we'll pipe smoke and talk and have a nice walk and maybe do a late lunch or something. Life is good. Life is good.